There's a narrative principle in playwriting called Chekhov's gun. It's attributed to Anton Chekhov, the Russian playwright of the 19th century. He believed that when you write a play, everything that is introduced throughout the course of the narrative needs to have a purpose. You don't do anything extraneous. And it's remembered as Chekhov's gun because he said if you have a scene in Act One where somebody walks into the house and looks over the fireplace and says, "Wow, that's a really beautiful old musket you have." And then the owner of the house says, "Oh, that old thing? I don't even think it fires anymore. It's been in the family for 200 years. It was last used in the Revolutionary War." If that happens in Act One, according to the narrative principle of Chekhov's gun, somebody's going to get murdered by that damn thing by the end of the play. You can bet your ass on that. I've been thinking a lot about Chekhov's gun today as I've watched Kevin McCarthy inch closer to getting the votes he needs to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives. As you all, I'm sure, saw today in the 12th round of voting, he picked up another 12 votes or so. I think in the 13th round of voting, he picked up another one. There are still 6 holdouts, but he's significantly closer than he was before. And how he got those guys to come over is telling and is related to this Chekhov's gun idea. As I'm pretty sure everybody who watches this channel now understands and follows the news, one of the principal demands of the crazy ass rebel faction in the Republican Party has been that they want to lower the threshold for a motion to vacate the chair, to fire the Speaker of the House of Representatives. They want to lower the threshold to do that to a single member. Now, from what I understand, as the rules are currently written and drafted by the potentially incoming Republican majority, that would only be for Republican members of the majority. But if any one Republican, if Kevin McCarthy wins and has to concede this, any one Republican over the next 2 years can at any time say, "I demand that we all vote on whether we're going to fire Speaker McCarthy or not." Matt Gaetz, well, he still hasn't come over to McCarthy's side, has cited this as one of his most important gets, no matter who the Speaker is, because in his words, he wants to put the Speaker in a straitjacket. What this does is it essentially guarantees that the Speaker has no choice but to listen to the most radical members of his party. And the most radical members of his party want things that are not popular with the American people, like not raising the debt ceiling or gutting Social Security. But we're going to come to a point in the next couple of years where those votes are going to come up, and McCarthy is either going to let them go to the floor, or, if he concedes this point, that they're going to vote to remove him from office. The reason I'm thinking about Chekhov's gun is because the way that they got the rebels to come over, and this is incredible, it's unbelievable really, is that in a private meeting, according to the Washington Post this morning, the rebels said to the Kevin McCarthy faction, "We really demand this. We need this single member vote for the motion to vacate. But we promise we won't use it. Will you trust us?" And that's essentially the same thing as walking into Chekhov's farmhouse, looking up at the wall and saying, "Hey, nice musket." And the owner of the house says, "Oh, that old thing? It hasn't been fired in 200 years. Oh, that wouldn't hurt a fly." Bullshit. You have to understand that this is going to be used, and Kevin McCarthy has to understand, and all of the Republicans who are backing him have to understand this as well. There is simply not a way that we go through the next 2 years with the crazies in this party who are going to only have the gun to threaten to shoot the Speaker, metaphorically, and not use it. I mean, it seems to me that the ironclad law of Chekhov's gun is going to come into play here, and Speaker McCarthy might really want to reconsider removing those magnetometers from the House chamber. Anyway, we're still not there. McCarthy doesn't yet have the votes. He is edging closer and closer, but it looks like he might get there. But at what cost? The next 2 years are going to be an absolute nightmare. But we'll be talking about it here. So, like, subscribe, tickle, fondle, the late. And we'll talk to you soon. Love to you all. Unless you're a Nazi.